Tuesday, March 18th, 2014.
Yeah.
All right. It's my pleasure today to be here with the man they call Style Scott.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure.
Harry Jace. We just finished a recording session, so I wanted to take the opportunity to ask you some questions about your style.
Yeah, man.
So let's go back to the beginning. Which part are you from? Where in Jamaica?
Originally, I was born in Clarendon.
Mm-hmm.
In a, we would call it a little remote district.
Okay. Country,
in country called Woodall.
Mm-hmm.
Woodall. And I attended school there as well.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, I was born in a place called Providence, which is in the same, just about a couple miles away from Woodall.
Yeah.
And then I were partially taken by my grandparents, my father's mother, and I grew up with them. And then my mother wasn't like a rich lady, poor woman living in the country there, nice black lady, poor, and she wanted a chance to go abroad, to make a life, to provide for the three of us that she had.
Yeah. You have what, a brother and sister?
Yeah, I have a brother and sister on her side, on the mother's side. But I have about 9 more sisters on the father's side.
All right.
And I grew up with my grandparents in Woodall. Right, attended school there, and never get a chance to move on to higher education because even my grandparents wasn't that wealthy.
Sure.
You know, they were humble, poor people as well, trying, but they had better method of surviving because my grandfather, he went to war, he went to the RAF, and fought in the RAF, and so many of these men from Jamaica that went to England and served in the British regiment, for some reason when they came back to Jamaica, they were given land by the Queen. Or by the British, whoever, you know, because
late 40s, something like that?
Right.
Or early 40s.
Yeah, man. Right back in the era there.
Yeah, right.
And they were given land when they come back to Jamaica. So my grandfather had we had about 20 odd acres of land. Where, you know, and I grew up on that farm, like, you know, that's a farm that I grew up on. And I can remember my grandfather when we, in my young days when we were going to school and things, we had, you know, as kids, you have certain homework to do, certain duty you have to do in the yard. You go to school, you come back, you have to tie up the goat. You know, you have to cut the rabbit feeding and feed the guinea pig them and the bird, the barbel dove them and all them things. I grew up with one of them things, you know, animals around me, the dog, them, everything. We have to make sure that these things are looked after. And after all of those things are done, he took us inside the house, like let's say 5 o'clock in the evening, when it had dusk down, we call it dusk. And he was showing us, teaching us how to play a guitar called Hawaiian guitar.
Okay.
Which is the one that he uses steel. And it seemed like he brought that guitar from England. My God, when he died, I almost went back to the country to see if I could find that guitar. But I don't know what happened to it. If somebody came there and took it or whatever, but couldn't find it. And he taught me and my sister to play that. That was like our duty before we got bed and got bed, you know. So we have to do that after school, look after the animals, do that then. And that was where this sort of love for music start developing.
Yeah, that was your first
my first experience with anything called an instrument.
Yeah, sure.
And you know, while a year go by and I was growing up with them, you know, I grew bigger. And there's a period when while you're attending school, there was, I think at age 16, at the secondary school I was going, you're out school at age 16. When I say you're out school, you partially graduate this at age 16, in other words, secondary schools. Back in those years, we talk about the 60s, you know, coming up. And as I said, they didn't have the money to send me on to higher education. But my father was working in St. Anne's in the bauxite mine. And things wasn't going so well with me and the grandparents because I was getting bigger.
Right.
And want more exposure.
Yeah, sure.
Come out of the woods and thing. And my grandfather, I have a aunt, well, my other sister's mother that I grew up with, wrote my father and showed him that, look, you have to come and come deal with the son and thing. And he came one night, I can't forget the night when he came for me. There was lots of rain and thing, and very rain. He came and took me, and I went to Brownstown, St. Anne's, and lived with him. That's where he was living. And then, after living with him too, it just got me like said, me I get bigger, and life start get boring in those places because them like a Brownstown here, they don't have nothing to offer anybody. And my father, you know, he wanted me to do a trade, but I didn't really want to go back to school. That's what I wanted, to go back to school to further my education. But then, even he more reluctant about that. He never really have the experience then.
Right.
Where I grew up with him kids them and understand their needs and the importance of education. So he never take it serious. So he wanted to send me on to a trade. And I went and tried to see if I could pick up a little of the mechanic trade.
Mechanic, yeah.
And that never worked out. And while batting here and batting there and meet lots of friends in my young days, and we meet lots of friends. I meet some friends and they invite me to Montego Bay. Because down there the tourist thing was booming.
Yeah.
And you know, I went down there with them, and not knowing Montego Bay, we and them youth there, come like that's some nice youth. They were working in the hotel industry. And when I went down there with them, they hurriedly get me a little hustling in one of these hotels.
So hold on, hustling doing what? Just in the tourist trade and
Yes,
business.
because
You're not
I mean,
in music. You're not playing drums yet.
Not yet.
No. All right.
So in them days, as me I say, you know, the tourism thing was vibrant down there.
Yeah.
Whole heap of jobs, opportunity was there because it was the earlier days before the political thing, unrest gets so bad, or the political arena gets so violent back in the 80s. But it was way down in the 70s, and lots of job was flourishing down there. And I got a job into a hotel doing waiter and was doing very well. And by doing waiter in many of these hotels, I got the chance to see many of the bands that was playing in the ballroom and thing at night. And I always leave the dining hall at certain hours when we finish work and go inside at the ballroom to see how the man was set up and we go play tonight for the tourists and thing.
Yeah, nice.
I meet a lot of great musicians. I see a whole heap of great musicians. There was a club in Montego Bay called Banana Boat during that era, and there was another one called Yellow Bird. But by then, I was working in a place now called Miranda Hill, which is down in the town on a hill. It's a nice hotel owned by 2 Chinese people. And you have a plaza down at the bottom called Overton Plaza. And Banana Boat Club is down the road. So on the weekends when you leave the work, you usually go down to Banana Boat Club to see it, because on tourist place, nothing usually go on,
Yeah.
Really and truly a whole heap of other things other than just the music and thing was going on there realistically. But what my interest was in is to see the bands.
Yeah.
And I go down there and see a drummer called Wade Hampton, but they call him Monkey Man. That's the name of that drummer. Wicked drummer. And when I say wicked drummer, if Ernest Ranglin is a man, if you ask him about that drummer, he will say, oh, weird drummer. I mean, when I say weird, I mean great.
Yeah.
But, and I met up this drummer and we become his friend.
Okay.
And by then he introduced me to Barnet Lane, where they have boys club. Down there they have drummers. It's just like Edna Manley School of Music.
Okay.
It was like the little club down there, and you have marching bands too. At certain time you go up and march with them and band and the side drum them and thing. And I went down there and meet a guy called Pops. That was the man who was running it. And I sit down in Pops, and Pops take me in at the thing and I start learning how to play,
Yeah. What year do you think this is?
This was down in about, this was about 69.
Okay.
69, 70, 69, or 69. Going up in the 70s. when I say about 70, 69, 70, 71.
Yeah.
I start, you know, learn to play my thing down there, and Pops had show me how to do my roles and thing, and you know, me take time and humble and go and learn. And at the same time when I done leave, when I leave there, I gone at work, and after I leave work, I gone a Banana Boat Club. Gonna watch Monkey Man. That Monkey Man look on me one day and say, boy, you seems to love jumping up. Me I go teach you to play this, you know. Him say me I go make you play this, you know. Yeah. And the brother there, one weird guy, you know. He's a man where, just like when you see this drum, he would tear the skin off of the drum and paint the whole damn thing black. Yeah. And when him go around the back, you know, he's a guy where usually take him little thick, but when him go around the back and start playing drum, you know, have mercy God, he rolls the bass drum with 1 feet. Yeah, right. Those days we never have double bass drum pedals and all of that. This guy was wicked. Yeah. I tell you, this drummer played an album with the Meters. There's a group called the Meters. You remember the Meters? And I can remember he played on an album with them. Like the tune go pam Panama pam pam tick tick pam pam and he played them tune, you know. Yeah. That's a drummer. He's funky. Yeah. Wicked man. Yeah. And we usually go on and place every evening. And after Monkey Man come up at the drum, and me dip on the drum. Oh, yeah. And he might teach me, and me dip on the drum, and me not leave it. Until the tourism thing, it going up in the 80s now. We are going up in the 80s now, you know, because, you know, me I learn with Monkey Man, me I got Boys Club, and me I work at the hotel, so things are flourishing in my young days. Everything are nice to me.
Everything said.
Until in the 80s, coming up in the 80s, 79, 77, 78, 79 coming up, the political things start get bad in Jamaica. Yeah. And when it come to the 80s now, the tourism thing even get worse. As a matter of fact, most of the hotels have been shut down because of the same political thing. And jobs now start get like, not easy, they might lay off people. Because no tourist was coming to Jamaica because of the political thing that was happening here. And things start get away now. I said, blood clean, what's the next move? I said, boy, I'm going to get stranded, you know, I'm reaching, I know, what you call it, frustrating, you know, position. And I got a job. I got I met a youth. And he looked at me and said, Scotty, you know, say, I go join the army, you know, the army is one nice thing, you know. He said that to me, he said, I go join the army, you know. And I went and joined the army. As a matter of fact, before I joined the army, I'll give you a story. Before I even joined the army, I was working at a hotel because them days the job was so much that you could have moved from one hotel to the other and work because the job was just there. So I usually work in a hotel called Bay Rock Hotel, which was opposite the airport during that, during the 70s there. And I met a band from Kingston here that was playing in a club down there called Sea View, right on the beach. And the band was Scully, would play Congo. Rico Baca, they call him Freighter. He died, he usually played Bob the Bantam people. And I got a drummer called Margie. And every evening, you know, this is a man who just have a club there on the beach there, you know. But it was more like a go-go club type. But then you have bands play there and all of them things, and tourists come there too. I'm usually go there so all the night, all the evenings as well. I'm going to watch the band they play till one day Scully himself, he's a witness. He just give me a plate. As Margie come up at the drum, I go up and I start play. And one day Scully say, hey, that like a blood clot boy, I go play drum, you know. Oh, we know, I'm going to teeth and play, I'm going to play, and you know what I mean? Yeah. And then as we say, things get stranded back when it's go up in the 80s, and I joined the army. Okay. I was in the army, and I can't remember enough of my friends them. Even some of the guys right now that are horn players, like Everell and Green and all these guys, they were in the army as well. And we had an engineer down here called Soldier, who is now working with a group of foreign called Soldier. Okay. I am an engineer for them now. All of us was in the army. And when we did in the army, they transfer me to the drum corps. While I was in Montego Bay, I usually do duty, go out on annual camping and do all of these things. And then when I come to Kingston now, they transfer some of the soldiers to Kingston. I was in that batch. I'm come to Kingston, by the HQ, and they see my potential. It's like them see me I play a jump on my rifle. All the while I play a jump on my rifle. They sit down inside of the barracks and I jump me and play on the rifle. And everybody watch me and I say, oh, the little jump here. Someone come like, is a jump? He said, jump you love, man. And I did that and I ask me question. I say, yeah, man, that my love, man. That me usually do on Moby. You know, my ideas and thing. And they transfer me to the drum corps. And I go inside there and, you know, that even help because I help to improve enough of my roles. And thing when you're there on parade and on in time you're on the drum corps, help you to develop your roles and your paradiddles and all of them things.
Right.
So it was then, you know, I spent about 5 years in the army between Montego Bay and coming to Kingston.
Yeah.
And in the 70s now, about in 76, 77, we leave the army and did a tour with Bingy Bunny. By then, you know, we usually come out of camp in the evenings and go downtown and go to Channel 1 because Channel 1 was a new studio and a new sound on the block where everybody hear the music that come out of Channel 1 and I said, why? No one know them studio and know where I go at night and thing. And we usually go down to Randy's, hang out down there down a Trans Lane, which is a popular lane where most musicians hang out. And down there I meet Greg Isaac as well. In my young days, you know. And you know, we moved from there. The first tour I did, as I said, was with Flabba and Bingy Bunny and Bongo Herman. And we had a keyboard player. His name was Junior or something. I can't remember the guy's name, but he toured with us. The first tour we did, I wouldn't say tour, the first trip we made outside of Jamaica as musicians, we went to Grenada. During the time when Grenada had that unrest with Eric Gary, or kicked out of power. Same time when the guy Maurice Bishop was gonna go in. And we did that tour there. We met a guy from over there called Christopher Dells, who usually doing business and thing, and he invited us over there to come and play. And we went there and did a couple shows in a place called Guav, Sotels, Baines Place. These are areas in Grenada. And it worked out nicely. And we all gather a little experience. The guy called Sky High, he's the guy who worked with the Marleys. And Sky, he could tell you the story too. Because he was the one who would say, boy, we carry you, no go on tour, you know. And he was, Sky High was there. And honestly, he was the one who actually helped to bring us there to one thing. And he was there with us. So that was the first movements I made.
And what were you playing? What was the, you know, what were the songs in your set? You were doing what?
Well, we were doing more like Rockfort rock.
Yeah, right.
And we were doing some of the Marwells, Bingy Bunny, they had their like a Marwells thing.
Right.
So we were playing more stuff, Bingy Bunny, track and
so it was original reggae though?
Yeah man, pure
like
original stuff.
Kind of
Yeah man, original stuff. And from there we
came... Did the band have a name? What was the band name?
Roots Rock.
Roots Rock, okay.
That's the first name Radics had, you know, Roots Rock. You know? Yeah man, and when we come back to Jamaica now, people start here we play 1 and 2 sessions because we are translating and people are call we. A man come and say he want a session and...
So how'd you meet Flower?
Well,
from being downtown?
Well, I tell you, the way I read Flabba, you know, there was a guy called Roy Hamilton, who was a guitarist. And him see the potential in me. I said, that Jamaica bad, you know, because they hear me play. You know, I can remember one time, there was a police headquarters below the camp. And a man down there have a band called Manners, Inspector Manners. He usually have a drummer called Kojak, and every time I run leave camp and go down there and go in the drum room and go play the drum, you know, and I play some wicked style. And Mr. Manners always look on Kojak and say, Kojak, you see that little drummer here? He might go bad on you, you know, watch it. And Kojak usually feel insecure, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Till that man did his first recording. He wanted to do a couple songs with his band. And he asked me to come and play with him.
Oh yeah?
And that's the first man who took me to Studio One. To Coxsone Studio, because that's where we did the recording. And I went to Coxsone and played with him, and that was my first time in Studio One. I mean, I said, wow, I can't believe somebody I get a chance, you know, first time. And that was good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
And we move on from there, and meet up with Flubber through Roy Hamilton, as I said, who I met. And he liked the way you usually tell him, and say, well, we have like a new drummer here come and they black him bad. Then the days they have drummer like Fish Clark. And you had the same Santa, Mouth and all them man, they did their own same way. And Sly too, I think Sly was come because Sly them possible back in them days it was maybe Skin Flesh on board. You know, they have a band. That was Light Parks.
Right.
And things was nice. And you have a whole heap of band. You have inner circle them, not inner circle, you have Tomorrow's Children, I can't forget these bands. In Crowd. Come usually go out to Harbour View, go see them band they are playing now. Whenever I do like live stage show, usually go there and watch these bands. I love to see how them band play. And so I get to know the inner circle guys because some of them was members of these bands as well. And we go out and develop ourselves, you know, and meet up down at Translane all the while till we meet up with Gregory. And Gregory here we play as well because we get 1 and 2 sessions, you know. We're getting sessions so people hearing us play. And one of my first popular hit tune that come out, when I know said, bam, it #1, that was with David Isaac, Just Like a Sea. You know that David Isaac, Just Like a Sea. We play them tune there. And the second hit we get was with Sugar Minor, and tune called Hard Time Pressure. That was another bad tune, I mean, it was sure a hit, you know. And we go on and we are doing 1 session, and we are doing 1 session, and people are hear about the band now. Till Gregory meet we up, and hear we play and say, boy, I hear me. A Radics never called me, you know.
Oh, he gave you the name, huh?
Yes, man.
Okay.
Gregory is that give us, and him are the first man get up and say Radics on the name, you know. Because you know, Gregory is good for that.
Yeah.
He's the type of character that will just come and name you,
Right.
and it stick.
Right.
You say a Radics on the name, you know.
Right.
And by then, Gregory Isaac had an album called Mr. Brown then, that he recorded with Sly and Robbie then. I think that's Sly and Robbie then played, yeah man. And Dennis Brown him sing Panic to harmony with him. And Junior Delgado, the man they sing harmony with Gregory. And he was supposed to go and do a tour, to tour that album. But at the time, I think because Mr. Robbie and Sly were so occupied doing other things and have affiliated to other bands and things, he said he wanted his own band. So he bought a drum set and gave me, and took it up to Haring Street, where he bought that Derek Harriet record store in Orange Street during that time because he had African Museum in the lane, in Translane, and that's when he transferred everything from African Museum down there so up to Orange Street. And he brought the drum set up there, one white drum set, and he said, boy, I want you to go and rehearse all of my tune them. And yeah man, you should have seen me inside every daytime, and sometimes I just go by evening time. After I do all my session them thing and just sit down and listen to the whole of Gregory tune them and just start play them, and you know what I mean? That was the Mr. Brown album where Robbie played, you know, and Sly them. And we started rehearse that, until we do the first tour with him, with Gregory. Right? And then we came back and did Night Nurse album with him.
Okay. So this is what?
That was
Early
about 81.
So who's in the Radics now?
Well, 82.
Right.
83, them time. Because I can remember 86 we went to Madison Square Garden with Bonnie Whalers, remember?
Okay.
And we did Madison Square Garden with them in 1986. So it wasn't far from then, you know.
Right.
And as we said, during them time there we a clap, a Radics at the band. We are mash up the place, don't care who they were on. And because everything we played then that came out was #1. Yeah man, with any artist. And then we start recording with John Jolas and them guys. You know, Pan Film Label, and we start make we control the airwave with couple of years well appear Radics and rule the thing. As you know.
Yeah, of course.
The whole life.
And this is what? This is you, Flava?
Me, Flava, Bingy Bunny.
Bingy,
Bingy dropped out. Me, Flava, Bingy Bunny, and Dwight. Well, we had a guitarist called Sowell. Noel Bailey was the first guitarist. And then, after we did that Gregory Isaac tour.
Who was playing keys? Steve.
Well, at the time, Steely wasn't playing keyboard with us, and he didn't go to Grenada with us either. Steely came into the picture when we start playing for Gregory. And when we start the session now, and we say, well, all right now, we're going to be our own band now. We have built the thing now.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes you do session, you know, a different keyboard player and every mix up things. So we said we want one thing, and that youth Steely came, and I think somebody introduced him to us. And a session, a man would do a session and call Steely to play the piano. And he come and play the piano and blows that skirt. From them the other man said, blow clap the boy, I sound like Hansi Collins, him wicked. At time I want Jackie Metu idol that, you know, him idolized Jackie Metu, you know. Yeah. And he was truly a wicked keyboard player. Yeah. Nice, young and vibrant, you know. And I took him down Orange Street, King Street, where the passport office was, and get his first passport. Yeah, man. And took him on tour with us. Yeah, man. I mean, take him down there, man. Flabba can't tell you. And we get him passport, and he went on the first tour with us to England with Gregory. You know, from then on, I still play with him. On and on. I make the whole of the hits them. Right. All hits until, you know, the guy gets so musically inclined that, you know, he had other ideas. You know what I mean? And he met up with Clevie and thing, and they were all friends, young people. I grew up 12 Drive people and thing, and he met up with them and start do them little computer things same way. Right. And Clevie is a little wizard when it comes to computer as well, you know, wizard. And they start do them little thing until they reach down jammies. And start do the jammies thing again, the sling thing, and you name it, and Ray, and I mean everybody in the band, in the Radics band, were musicians that were self-taught in a way. You know, we had teachers still, but I mean, we were all self-taught and developed. We did a lot of research and develop ourselves, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why we hold the airways for so many years. And even now, just like now, because we record for a lot of people same way. Just like how you come here now and we're recording for you. Just the other day we record for some people from Colorado. And we just keep recording because even Barry Salmon, we record lots of Barry Salmon hits. You know, just be good to me, yeah. That's all fine. Barry's go, yeah. And we play all of them hits there now. And more for Barry's.
Who would you cite as your influences as a drummer? Yeah.
Well, as I said, Monkey Man is my teacher. And me influence, he influenced me a lot, you know, me watch it, right? And many other drummers, and as I say, in my young days, I like how Sly play. Yeah. As a matter of fact, in the days when the music changed, from out of the old Studio One, sound, the chart and sound, and the Channel One come in, as I say, it was a breath of fresh air to the music. It opened a big door there where, trust me, I know you're not close it. You understand me? It is still the door that's what reggae wanted then. Right. And, you know, and as we say, you could hear things so clear. There were lots of clarity there. Yeah. You could hear the drums, you could hear everything. Right. So I was listening to him, Lied Nibs, Brevet. Lied Nibs and Brevet. I like how that man play. Yeah. And no for that drummer before, you know, I listen to him because sometimes I listen to some drummer and they know say, are them drummer they play. You know, I'm like Thin Leg. Yeah. And them man they bad drummer them man, the John Bagel. Yeah. You know, Carl Malcolm. That one wicked drummer, you know. Them man they. I'm glad I was alive, or he was alive, and I got a chance to meet him round by Bunny Whalers. And actually, he showed me a lot of things too. Because them man, they're great drummer would play for all the Queen too, you know. Yeah. Yes, man, thrill the Queen with drums, you know. Them the man there, you know. So, yeah, man, so, nice. You know, I got a chance to pass through and listen to a lot of different musicians. Yeah. You know what I mean? And as I say, I love reggae, you know. Reggae, I love enough music, but I just love reggae based on what the music is and how it, you know what I mean?
Well, with that, let's pause here. We'll finish. That's part one.
Yes, that's part one.
That's part one.
All right.
When we get a chance, we'll come back.
We'll come back and do part two.
All right. Styles got it.
Respect, blessed love. Yeah, man. We're gonna look some food, you know.
Yeah.